Hey there, and welcome to Careers Unchecked, the podcast where we stop checking boxes and start making moves. This is for barrier breakers, career builders, and anyone who's ready to build a career that actually feels like theirs. I'm Brandi Oldham, career coach, interior designer, and year-round iced coffee drinker. Around here, we keep it real. From navigating career pivots to figuring out how to stay balanced when your to-do list feels like it's just never ending. Whether you're chasing that next promotion, thinking about switching things up, or just trying to figure out what's next, you're in the right place. My goal? To help you trust yourself, take action that feels good, and build a career that's sustainable, not stressful. So grab your drink of choice, settle in, and let's get to it. If you've ever held off on reaching out to someone because you didn't want to bother them with your networking, this episode is for you. So many of my clients tell me they avoid networking because they feel like they're being a burden. I get it. But here's the truth. Most people want to help. They just need to know how. So today, I'm sharing how to ask for help in a way that feels natural, not awkward, and definitely not like you're being an inconvenience to anyone. So here's the thing that you need to know. Helping others taps into our natural need for connection and purpose. Who doesn't want that? Psychologists actually call this the helper's high. When we help someone, our brain releases feel-good chemicals, oxytocin, dopamine, all come flooding in and we feel really good. Do you know how many times when I'm working with clients, they say, I just want to be seen as an expert in my area. Again, part of that helper's high. We want to feel like we're needed. We want to feel wanted. So think about yourself. How good does it feel when somebody asks you for advice on a problem, right? And I'm not talking about like casual advice. I'm saying a friend comes to you and they're like, look, I've got this situation and I could really use your insight. I bet you feel valued. You feel seen. You feel excited to be able to give them some sort of insight on something that they're clearly stuck on. It's not annoying. It's affirming to feel wanted, needed. Where we're going to start today is I want you to reframe your ask. Instead of thinking, okay, I'm asking for a favor, I want you to think, I'm giving them a chance to share their knowledge and experience and be an expert. Frame your ask as an invitation, not as an obligation. No one's required to give you their insights, but they're likely to want to give them to you. So instead of just saying, hey, can I pick your brain? Ugh, I hate that. When I get emails like that, I'm like, no, what do you mean pick my brain? Do you want to know about how I was up over the middle of the night with a baby that wouldn't go to sleep? Are you wanting to know about my recipe that I cooked last week? My career? There's so many things that pick your brain can mean. Instead, I want you to get specific. How about try this instead? I admire the way you've built your career. Would you be open to sitting down for 20 minutes in the next 2 weeks and sharing your insights with me about how you did it? Very specific ask. Number 1, do I have time in the next 2 weeks? Number 2, do I have 20 minutes? Number 3, I love coffee. Number 4, you're asking me specifically about my career so that when I show up to that conversation, I know what I'm going to be talking about and I know where my mind needs to be. Versus, can we get together at some point in time, somewhere where I can pick your brain about something? That feels really ambiguous, a lot more of an ask, and honestly, you're putting so much work on my plate to try and pull the rest of the information from you to figure out if it's a good ask or not. So get specific, ask for what you need, and make sure it's 20 minutes or less. That's easy. Anybody's got 20 minutes. Now, the other thing you need to know is that people love sharing their expertise. Like I said before, I've had so many clients that are like, in my next role, I want to be an expert in my area. Probably 90% of my clients have said that. So people thrive on this idea of being the expert in the room or being the person that people go to for advice or for help. When you ask someone, will you lend me your vision or your expertise? You are asking for their guidance. You are telling them, I value you. I value what you bring to the table. I value your experience, and I want to learn more. Who wouldn't be flattered by that? When you ask someone about, let's say, their career journey or their expertise, you're also giving them an opportunity to reflect on their own achievements and toot their own horn, right? We all love talking about ourselves, spoiler alert, And we all love reliving those highlight moments because the reality is we're all human. Sometimes our days are messy. Sometimes we have chapters that are really messy. But being able to sit in front of somebody who says, I admire, I value what you've done, and then we get to reflect on, oh wait, I am actually a pretty amazing human, is a great way for them to feel really good about themselves. So they're going to leave with that helper's high, right? Of, I got to help you, but they're also going to leave being reminded about how amazing they are, feeling connection and this intrinsic need to want to help you succeed because you see them fully. The biggest part of all of this is, now that you understand kind of the psychology behind it, just make the ask easy. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. The reason people say no to most networking asks is because they don't know what you're asking for. I want you to be clear, I want you to be specific, and I want you to respect their time. If you truly value the education and the expertise that they're bringing to you, you need to show that in your ask as well. I recognize that you might be busy. I recognize that you might have competing priorities on your plate. Could I borrow 20 minutes of your time? We can meet at a coffee shop, right? I'll treat you to a cup of coffee in exchange for getting to have this conversation. Or if that feels like it's going to take too much time out of your day, we could virtually meet for a coffee, right? Meet over a Zoom meeting. It's an easy plug and play in between the other things that you have going on. It's one thing the pandemic has given us is a lot of flexibility with online meetings. Pretty much everybody knows how to do them now. So easy ask, right? Be specific with what you want to know. I want to learn more about your career journey. I want to learn more about your role as a blank. I want to learn more about your contributions in this specific area. And respect their time. When it gets to that 20-minute mark, I can't tell you how many times these meetings go over, but try to be mindful. When it gets to the last 5 minutes, say, look, we're heading up on this 20-minute mark. I am enjoying this conversation so much. I do have additional questions, but I want to be very mindful of your time. Do you have time today, or can I follow up in an email? Right? They've already made that personal connection with you. They're likely to say, yeah, let's chat an extra 10 minutes, or you know what? I can't today, but an email would be fantastic. I would love to get you these answers, right? And then the other part about this is be creative. I'm the first to tell you, I'm a new mom. I've got a 7-month-old right now. And the amount of time that I have to reply back to email or to reply back to text is just very limited right now. My kid requires my full attention, right? Learning to eat, we can't have you choke, those kinds of things. So one of the things that I have found is really helpful is that when people reach out to me and ask for a specific ask, I want to know more about this, I want to know a specific detail, I'm way more likely to say yes, number one. And number two, if it's something that's quick, I can also say, I know this is kind of unorthodox, but would you be open to a voice memo? Could you ask me your question and then can I voice memo you while I'm feeding my kid his oatmeal, right? Those kinds of things help me get you the answers that you need while also allowing me to do what needs to be done in this phase of my life. So just be open to flexibility and how you can glean the information that you're looking for without feeling like you're asking too much of somebody. Here's the deal. Networking isn't about convincing people to do you a favor. They owe you nothing. I'm sorry, they don't. But it's about connecting. And when you connect with people, they want to see you succeed. So next time you're hesitant about reaching out, you're not sure, remind yourself you're not being a burden. You're actually giving someone the chance to share their wisdom. And most people are happy to do that. And someday, I hope you get to return that favor to them or to somebody else. We all are better together. So being able to return that to your community is always a win. So don't forget to do that as well. Thanks for joining me today on Careers Unchecked. If you've got a career question or just need someone to bounce an idea off of, reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take a breath, take a step, and keep moving forward. You've got this.